got into the gym very young, and I realized how much it benefits me and how much better it made me.
Empowering people leads to rectification of character.
If you can help me and I can help you and everyone's getting better service because of it, we're all gonna grow.
Welcome to Mojo Motivation,
the official podcast of AYM High Consultants.
I'm Fahim Mojawala.
And I'm Marty Johnson.
Because everyone leads a little Mo.
And a little Joe.
We are super honored and excited and grateful to welcome Joshua Stewart, who's going to be referred to as Josh because I only know him as Josh. But he is the Postmaster of Grand Island, New York, where we are based. But he's so awesome that he's currently running the Tonawanda, New York post office, 14150. Amazing wife and 4 incredible daughters. Has a degree in exercise science. He is what every USPS postmaster should be. He's very into fitness, health, wellness, and what drives people. Like what makes people tick. Those are the things that he loves to take a deep dive into. So a man after my own heart. I love it. So we're going to chat about that. In the professional career at USPS, he's been striving to improve the culture of every place that he entered. And his team is amazing. Everywhere he goes, they just want him back. And we want him back in Grand Island, New York. We can't wait to have you back, Josh. So thank you for visiting us. Thank you for being here. We're super honored and grateful.
And welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. What do you want to talk about first? We talked about so many things. What would you like to talk about what you want to talk about? What your passion and fitness, and you want to talk a little bit about that? Because that really got me intrigued. Because that's how I connected with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where everything kind of started for me in any career. So sure, I think that's probably a good starting point.
Yeah, I remember I texted Josh one time at like 7 a.m. and I said, I'm so sorry it's so early. But I wanted to text this to you. And he's like, I have to be at work at what time?
Usually 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
In the morning.
Those are not hours for me.
Yeah. And I was intrigued. And that's how, and then he's like, I'm really into exercise science. Can you give us a little bit about your journey and how you got started into fitness and what really makes you tick?
For me, honestly, it was because I wasn't a very good athlete. So growing up, I wanted to play all the sports, but I needed to have that edge. So for me, I got into the gym very young and I realized how much it benefits me and how much better it made me. So it took me from kind of average to I could be on the team and play all these sports. So I've been doing it since probably a sophomore in high school, if not a freshman in high school. And it's just always been a part of my life. I mean, it's like drinking coffee for most people. If I don't go to the gym, I feel like something is missing from my day. Okay. And sometimes it's not great. I don't work out for hours at a time or anything. It's just go, show up, be consistent with it. So it's just always been a part of things for me, and that's where I got started with it.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I really, really love that because we see with a lot of people, they think that just because they can't do something now, they can't do it ever. And so I love the fact that you came from a place where you got into it and you're like, okay, well, this is a stepping stone to getting into sports or fitness, whatever, and you picked fitness, and that's great. How important, so we are small business mentors and accountability partners, right? How important is mentorship and accountability in the fields that you've worked at?
Well, fitness-wise, I think it's huge. I mean, you're going to find a million people doing things a million different ways, especially in the era we live in now. Everyone's posting videos and doing all these different things. So, and I think it's important to find a bunch of different avenues. And people get pigeonholed very often in the fitness world, and they think that, you can only do bodybuilding or you can only do this. And so I think having a broad, open ideas to everything is really beneficial. So finding as many people you can reach out to as you can, because you may come to me and say, hey, I want to be a bodybuilder, and then Marty may come to me and say, hey, I want to run a triathlon. Well, how can I help both of you? I might know a little bit about this and a little bit about this, but I have a person who knows this and I have a person who knows this. So I think that's huge. I mean, that's a big thing. And that's kind of how I've modeled my career in the post office too, is, I've openly admit I don't have every answer.
Yeah.
I don't even have a majority of them. You know, I've only been there 12 years. So for me, I have to find someone who's an expert in labor relations. I have to find someone who's an expert in international shipping and know who my people are I can reach out to and get the correct answers. So
That's so important. That's a mark of a really good mentor because like every client is different, and we talk in terms of clients, we talk in terms of team members, whatever it is, or a client in the fitness industry. And you don't have it. Yeah, you definitely don't have the solution for everybody, but you have the network that can help you find the solution for everybody. And we're talking about a world that is not really mine in the fitness industry. I have this morning routine. Fahim knows about it. It's 2 hours long. And it's awesome. You know, it includes cardio, it includes all these things, it includes meditation time and all this, but I've never done it. but it's been written down for about 5 years, and it's every night before I go to bed. I'm like, I'm going to get up at 7. I'm going to do my morning routine.
Wait, when he was saying that, I know Marty for 10 years. Yeah. When he started saying that,
I'm a sleeper. We were talking about this earlier.
Which Marty are you talking about?
I got a good one. I get like 10 and a half, 11 hours of sleep last night. I feel like I'm almost rested. Like I'm not that person. I don't do mornings. I'm trying. I would like to. But yeah, so I appreciate and value someone who has that ability to get up. Yeah, and it's something that I aspire to, but I've never gotten there. But I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Everyone says you just have to do it. But then the morning comes and like I can't even. I have to like get like pliers and I'm like, oh my eyes. And then getting out of bed, it's like pain. Anyway, but that's my story.
We will not tell Josh what we had for breakfast, but it was really good. Anyway,
what I'm saying is that like I admire the people that have had the discipline to do that because I'm very disciplined in many ways, but when it comes to that, I'm definitely not. But I'm doing good. I hit my goal weight last year. I'm healthy. I aspire to be that be able to get up in the morning and exercise person,
and you know, for the most part, you're much more disciplined in terms of food than I
very disciplined in terms of a lot of
you're very disciplined.
Yeah.
That's the thing that intrigues me about Marty, Josh, is that he's really disciplined on so many things, but when it comes to, you know, working out or exercising or something, it's just that hasn't followed. I think it'll follow. But what I like what you said is people think that, you know, just because you're an expert, you know everything, and it's just the opposite. How important is having a proper network in getting to the right people?
I mean, for me, I think that's kind of what makes you an expert is if you have the proper network. You know, there's no one that's an expert in anything. I mean, it doesn't matter how long you've done it or what you're doing. I mean, you're always going to have someone that you need to reach out to.
Yep. Or
someone that you need to, even if it's something silly, like, you know, stuck on a word, any of those things. You just have to have someone where you can go and say, hey, this is my thought. This is what I think I could do. What's it look like from your angle? You know, and that's in life and business and fitness and everything, you know. I mean, I've written fitness programs and I'll bounce them off people and say, hey, like, this is my idea. This is where I think I'm going to end up. What's your thoughts? Okay, looking at it from my point of view, no, you're not going to end up there.
What is it you always say? Your network is your
net worth.
Yeah, you say that all the time. Your network is your net worth.
Always. And you can't be phenomenal if you don't have a phenomenal network. And sometimes people in your network aren't phenomenal. So we've also learned to, you know, let them go sometimes because there's takers that are disguised as givers. And, you know, we've gone through that, Marty and I. And so, you know, it's important to constantly reevaluate our network, I think. You know,
I want to comment on something like you mentioned earlier in this conversation that you texted Josh. The fact that you, as a small business owner in your community, have your Postmaster's direct phone line is unusual. So like, and we've all been in this industry for a long time. We've worked with Postmasters, the good, the bad, the ugly, you know, like for years in all different things. And not many. I think it's unusual for them to be so approachable, for them to be so accessible. A lot of times there's a guard, there's like a gatekeeper, there's you know, oh, we'll put this on their desk and all that, and you never really get to meet them. We make an effort. We tell all of our clients, like, make an effort to get to know your postmaster and the supervisors at your local post office because they can be your biggest advocates and your best friends once they know that you're there to partner with them and not be competition to them when you're running a postal store or a shipping store. So kudos to you for being open to that. That makes all the difference, because you realize we're here to raise everybody else up. We're not here to try to take business away or compete. Anyway, appreciate that. Some postmasters can be kind of just a little difficult.
Yeah. Not Josh.
Not Josh though. Not Josh. Yeah.
Hey, it's understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
yeah.
For me, it's you service the community. I mean,
exactly.
It's
public servant.
You guys are doing the same things, and if you can help me and I can help you, and everyone's getting better service because of it, we're all going to grow.
Exactly. That's
know,
exactly how we look at it.
That's why there's you know.
Yeah.
Yep. We raise the level so all the ships go up with it, not just
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's plenty to go around. I mean, that's everyone's going to mail something, ship something, need something.
Yeah.
For the rest of our lives.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's-
Regardless of what any of the naysayers say, the whole logistics component is here to stay. It's just modified because you've got so much mail now being transferred or changed into a lot of people getting packages and small parcels. But that whole thing has really allowed the post office to pivot as well. I mean, we've pivoted and diversified in our business, and the post office is doing the same thing. Like, they're really catering to a lot of small business owners, the e-commerce shippers. You've seen that.
Yeah.
Just in your tenure.
Yeah, in the short period of time, I've seen how much mail has kind of gone away, and I can tell you a lot of it's generational too. I mean,
it is.
Yeah.
I work for the post office, and I can't tell you the last time I opened a piece of mail.
Yeah,
it's just not. What my bills are paid online. My wife handled I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get anything in the mail that's important unless we order something. So for me, but there's folks that wait for the mail person or the mail carrier that day, and so that part of it is kind of neat to me. I mean, I like to make sure that part of the community is taken care of, as well as the part of the community that doesn't know how to address an envelope.
Yes.
Because I guarantee if I ask all of my kids, they probably can't fill out an envelope and mail it across the street.
Oh, no.
So
my kids are the same way.
But it's
younger ones
really
especially.
pretty neat. And, my in-laws, they still mail their bills, stamp and fill it out. So it's kind of cool to see. Yeah. But at the same time, you kind of see it dwindling away and not really happening much anymore, because everything's in the palm of your hand, and you can pay your bill and buy a car before I walk out the door here today.
For sure. For sure.
But the institution stays, but the focus and the product line or whatever changes. Like any business that is going to last, the Postal Service has lasted centuries,
250 years.
250 years. You got to change. You got to pivot. You got to change with the times. And we work with stores who rent mailboxes. They're CMRAs, commercial mail receiving agents, which they rent private mailboxes, which is different than a PO box. Mm-hmm. But we talk to them about marketing them a lot of times, and it's not like we marketed them even 10 years ago, where you advertise one address and it's secure and confidential and all that. Get all your mail here. Especially when you have a younger market. They don't get mail. They don't care about mail. Mm-hmm. We market it as a secure place to receive your packages away from porch pirates or something like that. The focus is totally different, but the service can remain similar. But you've got to be aware of where you are in time and your audience and the age of your... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And one of the things we tell our clients, Josh, and I'm really happy that you were there to witness this, and I say this all the time in the private forums, but it's all about relationships. We talk about relationships all the time. And I'm honored and grateful that I have a fantastic relationship with our post office. And it took years to develop. And most of the people at the post office know me. So every year after Christmas is over, I can't get it done before the holidays. But after the holidays, in the new year, I go and I make it a point. So SEMA made lip balms and soaps for every single person.
I still have mine from last year.
Thank you. And so you were witness to it. I brought it in. Angela was there. And Tracy texted me 3 days ago, I just got my gift. So my wife made gifts for every single employee at the Grand Island Post Office. And I went to deliver it. And for Josh. And he just happened to be there that Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it was great. But that adds value to the relationship. It was a gratitude gift. It wasn't just a holiday gift. It's like, thank you for what you do all year. People don't know the pains of being a mail carrier and what goes and what they have to go through. I know before this episode, we talked a little about you were really empathic and collaborative. And part of that is because you were a mail carrier for 7 years.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I started, and actually in Tonawanda. So, I took the job thinking that I want to be able to retire and have benefits and do those things. And the fitness industry is very much, you're trading dollars for hours. and you got to figure it all out on the back end. Even if I own my own gym, I got to figure out what I want to do if I want to ever retire. So I needed a pension. I needed to retire. So I got this city carrier assistant job. And I was like, it'll be, a few hours a week here and there, and I'll carry some mail. It's in my neighborhood. It's pretty cool. Next thing I know, I'm working 60 hours a week, 7 days.
Oh my goodness.
Amazon Sundays just kicking off, and I'm going, and it was tough for a while. It was difficult, but I've gone through what they go through on a daily basis, when it rains, when it snows, and it stinks out there some days. And some days are awesome, when those 75-degree days where the sun's out and you're just kind of meandering down the street. Yeah. Those are good days, but there's more bad than good as far as weather goes in Western New York. So, but that's led me to help guide them a little bit better. I think when I'm in offices, I understand what they're going through. So our conversations in the morning and those things go a little bit better because I know what you're saying. I know that when snow melts, it becomes slippery and this and that. So it's just little things that, being a part of it helps me.
Yeah, you can empathize.
Ease their day a little bit, yeah.
As you've been there. And that's the difference between a good boss and a bad boss, honestly, is one that dictates and whatever, or one that is like, okay, I understand, let's figure this out together because I've been there myself. Yeah.
It allows you to be a phenomenal leader. The thing that you said earlier, which really resonated with me, if you don't mind sharing that, I think that's going to give a lot of people a lot of direction, whether they're running stores or they're running teams. The fact that you were able to recognize what happened today where people wanted off because of the event that's happening today, and you were able to give them off for that.
Yeah. Well, obviously we live in a community where the bills are huge, and we still have a job to do. We still operate on Saturdays. So for me, it was I wanted to give everybody the opportunity to be home for the game. So if they finish their work for the day, they can leave. And I offered to donate my leave to them so they could get paid for their full day and be home and watch the game with their family, their friends, or whoever they want to do it with. So, it's...
And he didn't think anything about it.
Yeah.
It was just a by-the-way type of thing. That, to me, was super impressive. And that goes a long way. You have no idea how much people will remember that, like for the rest of the year or some for the rest of their lives. Yeah. That someone allowed them to do that. I think that's phenomenal. I get a lot of inspiration from that.
Mm-hmm. And it in turn makes them want to, in general, probably give a little more, maybe a little more effort, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, we hope.
Sure.
We hope. It's not always universal, but
right.
We hope that when you give, it does come back to you.
Yeah.
I feel like 99% of the folks will, obviously we have people who don't care about football or don't care about whatever, and it doesn't affect them. But, for me, it's always been focused on the 99%, not the one.
Yeah.
And that's in anything. That 1%'s never going to drag you down if you're making sure the 99% are taken care of. So, so that's always been huge. But if it worked for some people, great. But it gave them the opportunity. And one they wouldn't have had. So
I love it.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and that goes with all the stuff.
I was going to say all of our things,
everything.
Game. It's just
everything. Honesty, integrity.
Yeah.
Saying no so you can grow. Saying no to the 1%er so you can go with the 99%ers, as Josh said.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that we talk about, like for this year, our 4 mantra words. Right, and how it relates to Six Sigma. So you can talk a little bit about Six Sigma because I saw that in your profile picture. Can you tell us what that is? Because I had to do research about it,
and I have no clue.
Yeah,
I've never heard of it. Yeah,
yeah. So it's kind of eliminating the waste, I guess, is the easiest way to just generalize it. In the post office, there's a lot of old buildings and old equipment and things that people just kind of stop using and push to the side, and
old ideas.
You don't realize that it's in the way, or so a lot of the lean process is just getting into places and saying, what's our process look like? What do you guys need to succeed?
Yeah.
It's and the big thing is getting out with the people doing the job. That's where it really changes the game. Is you get out with the clerks who are sorting the mail in the morning, and I did this in Grand Island. When I don't know if you'd ever been in the back of Grand Island, but it used to have this giant platform in the middle of it, and it was like where the supervisors perched and watched everyone.
Oh, gosh.
So the first thing I did is tore it down.
Yeah, were there thrones up there too, and a scepter?
Yeah, it's just not the culture I wanted to have in a building. And then I sat down with Tracy and the clerks, and they said, "Hey, what are we gonna do how do you guys want this organized? This is your baby. I don't sort mail in the morning. So
Yeah.
do you want a U shape? Do we want an L shape? Do we want hampers? Do we want this? And they created the process. So we gave them ownership. And that's a lot of what the lean ends up being, is finding these bottlenecks, talking to the people doing the work, and opening up that bottleneck. So, and it can be in any process we have. So it's
Empowering your team.
yes,
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
100%
Yeah.
of what it is.
And then
Giving them ownership over their task and letting them find the best process for it.
without
It doesn't mean-
micromanaging.
Without micromanaging, but it doesn't mean you don't guide or suggest, but you don't dictate and you don't micromanage. And that was my biggest thing. And Julie, who worked for me for years,
Yes.
my nickname was Mike because I was such a micromanager. And she, but by her calling me out on that, it really allowed me to then empower the team, which led to huge, amazing things when I started to let go of some of the things that I thought were the right way to do things, but it wasn't even my task anymore.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you get some great ideas.
You get some
really do.
great
Like,
ideas.
some
You realize
things
that maybe you don't know everything.
well,
they're
the people doing the job, 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
So if they tell me that, this box is too close to this corner and they can't turn around it with the equipment and we should move,
Yep.
I'm going to listen to that person.
Yep.
Aesthetically, it looks great. It's where it needed to be, but
Yeah.
it doesn't work for their process. So
Yeah.
let's fix that.
Yeah.
And then they
That
love it.
That happened with us with Jasmine and empowering her. She and my wife Seema came up with this whole system of mail. So now every piece of mail that gets delivered gets dated.
And that system is amazing. Yeah, we need to do like a blog on that for the
We're
industry
going to
on
do a blog on that.
how to
because
implement that. 'cause this
what
is
happens
smart.
is when the incoming piece of mail, because there's a lot of different mail delays because of weather, carrier, there's a lot of different factors going on. So I don't want people who are entrusting us to receive their mail to know that we delayed processing their mail after we got delivery of it.
Yeah. Mhm.
So how to stop that was basically just putting a date stamp on it and then uploading it. So we have a system that uploads every piece of mail to their phone or their email and they get it.
Sure,
So
yeah.
they see that date stamp now. So we have attorneys, we have real estate agents, we have architects, immigration attorneys that are very time sensitive. So they're able to prove that this got to their mailbox on that day. And I mean, we're in Western New York with the snowstorm. It's possible to get a delay, for goodness sake, right? Like everyone's human. So we're not blaming anybody, but in order to avoid that blame, and for people who are listening and watching that are in our industry, one of the words we have is opportunity. We turn that obstacle into an opportunity. And I want to basically, part of this podcast is to show people how opportunity, gratitude, generosity, and authenticity, our 4 mantra words for 2026, can help people go from good to great, great to excellence, and excellence to soaring.
Yeah.
That's my message, brother. What do you have? What do you have? What do you have? Yes.
Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful.
Ryan, how are we on time?
22 minutes.
Okay, we're good. So we got like 10 minutes left. Excellent. Okay, so I did my thing. You go ahead. You do your thing. What's your opportunity, gratitude, generosity, and authenticity message? Because it was funny. We just came up like on the fly with this, right? Like we're in a New Year's call, and I was like, my 2 words are opportunity and generosity. Marty, what are yours? And he was like,
Oh, I didn't know you'd be asking me this, but I'll just throw out. What did I throw out? Yeah,
Gratitude and authenticity. I loved it.
Yeah, no, but they're good. And I printed those 4 words out. I put them in my office on the mirror so that I look at them with every decision we try to make or every call we have with our clients. We try to focus on them. And it really is centering. I mean, it's only been, 2 weeks into the new year and the last few days we've been here, but it's good. Yeah, and then we do a lot of writing. We do a lot of blogging and all that. And focusing on that when what we share through our channels, through our newsletter, hello, it's centering. And it's focusing.
It is. It is.
It's
It really
very
is.
good.
It's a
very
central
good.
theme.
Yeah.
And that's why I think one of the things that we focus on is making the mundane extraordinary, because people think this industry or know this industry to be very mundane, very boring, very matter of fact. And so for us to be running a podcast called Mojo Motivation, right? To inspire people to greatness, to be their greatness selves. That's what inspired me and impressed me about you, where, you're in this job that seems to be so mundane, and anybody who's interacted with you that I've spoken to behind your back loves you, is raves about you, and it's because you truly care.
Yeah.
You've taken people who were not exactly pleased with previous managers, and you came in and you just modified the process. But part of the thing was you empowered them. Mm-hmm. I want you to talk a little bit about that, because empowering people leads to rectification of character, I think, too. Because a lot of times some people, they just need a little motivation.
Yeah. And I think that's when you told me about Josh coming on the podcast, and this is a relationship that you had that I'm meeting you for the first time today, but I've heard a lot about you. Okay. And I think that's what impressed me the most, the relationship that you had established together, that you're so accessible, because my 30 some years of dealing with different postmasters in different capacities, it's so rare. And the last few years that I was dealing with them in my past business town, Ithaca, New York, we had some wonderful, wonderful postmasters who were great. But then we also had big periods of time where there was no postmaster because it was such a hard post office to run. It was two major campuses. One of the campuses had mail done very differently than a traditional campus, and it was just a whole thing. It was a whole thing. And so it was hard to keep someone there for long term after the postmaster retired. And it was frustrating because it was really hard to get any answers, because you never knew what supervisor was in charge, or the interim postmaster at the time. And then the one supervisor who we loved, she was our carrier for many years. She was filling in and she was doing a great job. And then she got moved because she was doing such a good job to a different post office. And it was a whole thing. So the fact that there's some consistency here, there have been some system changes. There have just been a way of looking at things from a critical thinking level, as we were talking this morning about the importance of critical thinking in so many aspects. And I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. There's this stereotype, I think, with those of us who have been working with the post office for many years, to think of a postmaster in general, stereotypically, as old school, right? I guess that's the best way to put it. Old school, not really like, okay,
and not accessible for sure.
Yeah, let's talk about this together. Let's figure out a solution together. That's generally not the vibe you get. It's kind of like, well, you need to do it this way, and it needs this round stamp on this date, and you need to file this, and it's just kind of
sound like that.
And there's a place for bureaucracy. There's a place for process, right? And there's also a place for, let's see what actually makes sense in the real world, So that's what's impressed me a lot about your attitude, from what I understand, and how you work with the Island Ship Center, with Fahim and Seema, and it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's good.
You're setting a model.
I hope. I hope it's at the end of the day, it's still the customer, the client.
It is.
And
their needs have changed. Their needs in 2026 are not their needs in 2016. They're not their needs in 2006. They're totally different.
Yeah, and they'll be totally different next year. They'll be totally different by Christmas.
Exactly.
Yes, they will.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's an ever-growing thing, and I think your guys' 4 words are great, and for me, the only word is consistency. Like that's.
Yes.
I think that's the model of whether it's fitness and your job, your day-to-day. Like if you can be consistent and people know what to expect, it goes a long way. You're never going to come into my office and get a heated version of me or a down version. You're going to get the level version, and I think that goes a long way with people too. Is sometimes conversations can be heated. Yeah. People get upset, and I just we find an answer. It's not but consistency for me has been the biggest thing. Is just keeping people level across the board. Letting them have some input. You tell me how to do this job correctly because you're doing it every day, and that lets people just, like you said, take ownership and enjoy it. So it's a very mundane job, and it's very dry, but if you can come up with things, it's cool.
Consistency, like in a lot of the things we talk about, like building an audience, you have to be consistent with posting, and if you want to get in shape, you have to be consistent with working out, which is the thing I'm trying. Everyone tells me that, and that's something I'm not good at, but I need to work on it. But consistency is, I love it. I love that word.
Yeah. It's so much easier said than done. Yeah. Because you see the people who are really consistent in something, regardless, because they go through all different seasons of life and be consistent with it. That's insane.
But to be consistent, you have to get started. And I think that's the struggle for most people.
That's the struggle.
Getting started. Becoming consistent, you have to get through that first couple weeks probably of showing up every day. Right?
That's
the biggest hump. But once you're over that, I'm told, I don't know by experience, that it becomes easier because it becomes a habit.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. So you have this great morning routine written down, right?
It's awesome. Okay. I tell you what, I am a great person when I do my morning routine. Just have never done it.
Do this for me. Take one thing out of that morning routine and just start doing that.
Atomic Habits.
So whether it's
I did read the book.
whether
No, but
it's
that's an atomic habit.
Yeah.
3 minutes of meditation. So
Yeah.
if that's part of your 2-hour morning routine, take those 3 minutes. You can spend the 3 minutes in the
Yeah.
morning. You can wake up whatever time you want.
Yeah.
Wake up at 9:15 and spend the first 3 minutes doing your meditation.
That's
and then
good.
add something into it after a few weeks.
Yeah.
Now you got 3 minutes of meditation and 2 minutes of stretching.
Okay.
And then 3 minutes of meditation, 2 minutes of stretching, and
Doesn't have to be all
10-minute
everything everywhere
walk.
all at once,
No,
right? Doesn't
no,
have to
it's
be
like
everything. I
you
think
do-
that's
that's
a
it.
mountain.
it overwhelms you.
It's a
It
mountain.
overwhelms you.
So
and
it's
everybody.
hard to start.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, I've been semi-retired for 2 years. I sold my business and went into coaching, right? And so my schedule is way more flexible than it used to be. It used to be, retail hours 6 days a week, and I had an hour commute on top of that for 7 of those years. And
Sure.
it was a lot, right? Like, it didn't leave time to, let's get up and do something before I have to drag myself to work and work 10 hours and come home.
But you don't have to get up either.
But I don't. And now that my routine is flexible, I work from a home office when I'm not on the road, when we're not visiting clients or at a conference. It's totally different. And I can finally sleep in, and I can do these things that I've been craving for years. And I think I've just overdone that because it's been 2 years, and I'm like snooze. I get in bed 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. I get up 9, 10 in the morning. I love it, but I'm a sleeper too.
You would be the poster child for all those sleep clinics.
And I am making everybody,
And
every
you
middle-aged
would-
man is
I'm super
the
impressed.
person that's getting up and
great.
still going to work really
But
angry right now.
for those that are watching or listening, I'm not Norwegian and I don't have that thing. So for me, if I get 7 hours, it's like, wow, I got 7 hours. It's great. And we're all different.
The sun
But-
doesn't set for 6 months, and then it doesn't come up for 6 months. So we learn how to hibernate. And I'm still in my hibernation period.
That's awesome. But that's the thing. You have proven to be consistent in so many things.
Yeah.
So just taking that, Josh has given you a suggestion. Take your 3 minutes of meditation
Exactly.
or 2 minutes of stretching and continue that for 4 to 6 weeks, and then add the 3 minutes or 2 minutes of that. Do that for 6 to 8 weeks, and then add that. You can't do it all at once.
Yeah.
And isolate. We tell our clients, destination pick from 12 to 5 to 7.
Yeah.
You do that for yourself, Marty. I think it's
I'm
gonna
great
be
at giving advice. I'm
amazing.
just really good at following it.
We're gonna do this.
Practice
And-
what you preach. That's the hard part for me.
and I'm going to leave everybody this. We got into mentorship and accountability because it's so important. I cannot get to the gym if I don't have a personal trainer. So I have
That's the
a
thing.
personal trainer
Yeah.
who's my mentor in that. And so he gets me to the gym.
Yeah.
If I don't get to the gym, unless it's an emergency, I lose a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
And that really motivates me to get to the gym.
Yeah.
And that's great. Whatever motivates you, but you've got to be self-aware and know I can't do this myself. That's why we tell people it's in anything. I think mentorship is huge, and accountability. Those things are super, super, they're admirable for you and Marty, who are probably very self-motivated and disciplined because you are.
About everything.
I'm
almost
not.
everything else.
I'm not. I'm
Almost
part of
everything
this-
else except.
Listen, I'm part of the
Stupid mornings. I
I'm
just
part of the
hate mornings so
78.
much.
I'm part of the 78% of Americans. Hard data. That's not self-motivated. Okay, my wife is. She can do it. I'm not, and most of my kids cannot. So just recognizing that I'm very self-aware, thankfully, that I can't do it. So we do something about it. That's going to be my message to everybody listening. Is figure out something, do something about it, be consistent, and be better every single day.
And understand yourself, understand the areas where you need help, and then the areas where you are good at that you could actually help someone else at, right? That's being very self-aware.
Okay. Yeah. In addition to consistency, what's your message to our viewers, our listeners? What would you want them to take away? That your life lesson. What's something that they could, whether, young or old, because you're dealing with a whole generational gap. So what would be something, 1 or 2 points that anybody listening, regardless of whether they're the TikTok generation or the boomer generation, all the way from, baby boomers to Gen Alpha and beyond, what would be that message that would resonate, that would come from you, that would be part of your legacy?
I think it's building your network. Find people who are quote unquote experts in your field and fields you're interested in, and just become a bridge, for relaying information to this generation and this generation. So, a lot of that's kind of what my job is, I get these directives from above me, and how do I relay it to someone who's carried mail for 40 years, longer than I've been alive? And then how do I relay it to this 18-year-old kid who just started? and I have to give them the same message, And do I have some knowledge on the situation? Sure. But I'm just a bridge of information for people. The same with fitness. I take this and I take this and I'll try it out, and then I become a bridge of information for you. Okay, like this is what worked for me. This is what didn't work for me. It may work better for you if you take this angle or this route. So I think that's huge, is just building your network.
Yeah.
Figure out who can give you the information you need and how you can bridge it to the folks that you need to relay it to.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, I want to thank you for being on our podcast. I want to thank you for your camaraderie, your responsiveness, your humility. You don't realize how humble you are, but you are. Just being amazing and being a mentor to me in so many facets. So I think mentorship is very mutual. So thank you, and we look forward to welcoming you again.
I appreciate it, guys. It was
Nice to meet
awesome.
you.
It was fun.
Yeah. Mojo Motivation is the official podcast of AYM High Consultants. Your co-hosts are Fahim Mojawala and Marty Johnson. Special thanks to Seema Mojawala and our producer, Ryan McCarthy. Learn more at mojomotivation.com or aimhigh.com. That's AYMHIGH.com.